folks. Today is Sunday, July the 19th. It's hard to believe that we are getting through the summer at this pace. So today I'm going to go through two major things. The first thing is the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. I'm going to go through law 3, the law of process. I'm also going to talk about my morning coffee and 2 coffee recipes that you can use, hopefully to your advantage, to empower your day. So first things first, the law of process. Becoming a leader is a lot like investing in the stock market. If your hope is to make a fortune in a day, you're not going to be successful. Recently, I've started to reread the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by Maxwell. I have read this in the past, but it's been a couple of years. So while doing my nightly trigger point and flexibility training, I did see the book sitting on the shelf. So I figured I'd give it another read through and share some of the wisdom. So Maxwell said that the ability to lead is really a collection of skills, nearly all of which can be learned and improved. So the more time you invest, the better you get. However, you need to do so with intention and clarity. So if you wish to improve, you need to set aside time in your daily schedule to read and learn new abilities. So investing into yourself is one of the best investments that you can make. You must set aside time to grow and help realize your full potential. So one of the best daily practices I would encourage you to adopt if you aren't currently doing it is making a daily schedule, following it the best you can, hopefully to a T. You can do this via app, day planner, calendar, whatever works best to ensure you schedule time to read and develop. The most successful leaders are constantly learning and looking for new ways to grow. You should reflect and ask yourself, how much time are you investing in yourself? Maxwell, as well as countless others, recommend making time to read books, listen to audio tapes, and or CDs. When this was written, he said CDs, attend seminars and conferences regularly. Whenever you come across a golden nugget of truth or a significant quote, file it away for the future. I've also heard in the past that you're not spending $20 on a book. If this $20 book helps you figure out $1 million idea, I mean, what is that book really worth? So the ideas that we find in texts or anything that we're investing in, it's hard to really place a dollar value on that. So remember that champions don't become champions in the ring. They're merely recognized there, and that was a Maxwell quote. If you want to lead tomorrow, you have to learn today. There is no overnight success. You will become what you are becoming right now. So how should we implement the law of process? And I do have to say, this is probably one of my favorite laws. And for the reason being that I have seen a lot of success. As you know, I'm a fitness professional. Whether it's personal or was my clients, you really see the value in the law of process, because every day you're going to be doing your workouts, or you're dieting, or making those small incremental changes. And it really is powerful when you can look back and see that the change from, for example, 250 calories less a day over the course of multiple weeks results in a massive body composition change. So the law of process is definitely one of my favorite ones. So how to implement the law of process? Write out your personal plan for growth. For example, read one book on personal growth or leadership in a month. Listen to, they're going to say one CD, but I would recommend, a podcast. Listen to YouTube videos, audiobook. Could be a CD, could be radio programming, or some sort of internet streaming service. Attend one seminar quarterly and one conference a year. However you plan it, make sure you have time for personal growth. Personally, I just registered for a learning series through CanFit Pro, because the CanFit Pro conference has changed this year. So I've registered for 25 different lectures online through a series over a span of a couple months. So It's awesome. Check it out. You can register online now. CanFit Pro, Google it, and if you're in the fitness industry, it's going to be a wealth of knowledge. Tons of really helpful information. Number 2, keep a calendar. A well-used calendar will show your priorities, your passion. It also reveals how and when, where you spend your time. Successful people are good time managers. It is important that you keep a calendar. You want to track how you spend your time. You can make more money, but you can never make more time. And time again, you're going to hear this, that, you know, time is the most valuable resource. And you want to be conscious of that. We have a finite number of minutes, seconds, hours, days. We never actually know how many we have. So we definitely don't want to squander it. And if we can, let's say, for extremely successful individuals, you know, they'll pay for their meal services. If they can save 2 hours a week, and, you know, it costs them $150, if they're making more than that in an hourly rate, then it's a no-brainer. By investing $150, they're actually saving money. Whether it's mowing the lawn, if you make more than $20 an hour, it's going to take you it's going to take you more than an hour to mow your lawn. Pay someone to mow your lawn, maybe a kid in the neighborhood or something, give them $20. And not only are you helping yourself save time, you're also maybe empowering the youth to see the importance of entrepreneurship and hard work. So those are just a couple examples. I would also even say that being a past personal trainer, if you're working with a fitness professional, you can be saving vast amounts of time, because when you start off, you really have no idea what you're doing, most likely, and you're probably spinning your wheels. By investing in a personal trainer or a fitness professional, they're going to save you time, because maybe you spend a year and get nowhere. Well, if you could invest $1,000 in a personal trainer, maybe you would have seen those results in a month and a half, and then that would have saved you a lot of time and effort. So, invest in those who follow you. Take a group of employees through books, bring in trainers, train your team, mentor people one-on-one. This is something that I really want to do, and I'm trying to do that on this platform, is share my knowledge, and not only my knowledge, but share my growth with people. And I don't mean that I'm growing people, but I mean that I am growing myself, and I'm documenting that happening. So very important. And you also want to create a culture of growth. So create the kind of environment that value and resources and reward personal growth and development. This kind of environment attracts high achievers and people with great potential. So those are just a couple things that we want to keep in mind to really take advantage of the law of process. And I finished a book 2 weeks ago, Limitless by Jim Quick, my latest blog and podcast. I did mention that, but one of the things that I liked him saying, he had all these different sayings for different things. So inch by an inch, it's a cinch. So the law of process is really that, right? You're breaking it down and just being consistent through the day. So I'm also going to leave you with my high performance coffee. So basically, my love relationship with coffee has been around for a while. I've always start my day with a coffee for the most part. I've done so for a few years. There was a point in my life where I relied on coffee to help get me through the day. So I'd wake up tired from caffeine withdrawal, poor sleep, suboptimal diet accompanied by poor stress responsibilities, and overtraining on the physical end. In my younger days, I didn't really dial in as much as I could have, and looking back, I wish I had made some changes in the past. That definitely would have helped me out, and that's why I'm going to talk about it today. Coffee was my go-to. It didn't matter whether it was like home brew, French press, Tim Hortons, Starbucks. I drank it all the same. It was black. On some mornings where I was extra tired, I'd have a shot of espresso in it. I'd have multiple a day. Extra large in the morning, shot of espresso. I'd have one in the afternoon, and then I'd treat myself in one in the evening. No wonder I had such bad sleeping habits and stress response, because my cortisol was just jacked up through the whole day. But after taking a hiatus from it, my focus returned to what I was really starting to take coffee in for the first place, was to improve performance. So I will digress for a moment. If the story that I described above sounds like you, I'd recommend maybe taking a break from coffee. And even cycling caffeine is highly beneficial because caffeine, like other substances, you will develop a tolerance to. And if you have the tolerance to caffeine, you're going to need more to get the same effect. So what I'd recommend is maybe cycling off caffeine every so often, perhaps 2 weeks. That's the only form of caffeine I take. Some people take like anhydrous caffeine tablets, stuff like that. Definitely steer away from doing that on a consistent basis. All that stuff ramps up your adrenals, and even though it's more anecdotal than I think proven medicine, adrenal fatigue seems to be something that can affect a lot of people, although it's kind of hard to nail down. So there's a lot that goes into not feeling energized in the morning. It could be poor sleeping habits, your stress is too high, you could be consuming too much caffeine, improper diet, it could be you're pushing it too hard in the gym, could be a various amount of things. There are things you can do to help improve your sleep, to improve your stress levels. Reach out to me. I've gone through lots of different practices, whether it's yoga, meditation, just changing my diet, improving my sleep health, sleep routine, stuff like that. So reach out if you have questions about that. But coffee should be used to enhance your performance, not kind of drag you down, and you shouldn't have to rely on it. So now I no longer need the extra large with the espresso. A small is more than enough to get me primed for my day. On the weekends I might drink a little bit more because it's a treat, but basically trying to dial in caffeine to really allow it to make me as productive as possible. So 2 coffee recipes. First coffee recipe, muscle building coffee. So I take my cup of coffee, do a scoop of protein. You can throw some creatine in there. So a lot of people back in the day used to argue that you don't want to be taking it with caffeine or in a hot beverage because it can denature it. However, the studies that they did initially with creatine were taken with hot black coffee. So no problem with that. You can also throw some BCAAs in, so branched chain amino acids. So you're having this in the morning, and it's before you take a meal in. You're getting that protein in that you needed from the night before. Just another opportunity to trigger some protein synthesis. Taking protein in regular intervals, like 5 times through the day, is the best delivery system because if you take it all in one massive meal, your body's not going to really be able to absorb all of it. So taking it in 5 meals through the day, if you're finding you have a hard time getting it in, have some protein in your coffee. And I will say that it is delicious. Add sweetener or sugar or milk to taste. If you want extra protein, you can use high protein milk. So you can turn your morning coffee into a little bit of a protein bump and enjoy breakfast with that. The next one that I will talk about is the coffee to boost your mental cognition. So same as the one before, 250 milliliters of coffee, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil or MCT oil. The reason I say coconut oil is an MCT oil. Use extra virgin. If you haven't done this before, don't load it up with oil. It is fat, so it could influence your digestive tract. I would also recommend putting creatine in it, and you can even do a teaspoon of cacao powder. It's been shown to increase blood flow to the brain. So MCT oil, same function, and the caffeine, so it all can work together. So there's a lot of things you can pair your morning coffee with, but if you're into fitness, most people have a lot of this stuff in the house. You can pair both of the approach together, adding cacao powder and coconut oil to the muscle building coffee, and have yourself a delicious brain boosting muscle building latte. If your primary goal is to lean up, then I just stick to black coffee with sweetener. Milk, sugar, MCT oil, all is calories, and it's easy to bump your morning coffee to a 250 calorie beverage, and over the week that can add up to 1,750 calories, which is basically half a pound of fat lost or gained. So if it does put you into that surplus. So guys, that's the podcast for today. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Love to help you out. And I hope everybody has a great and productive week. All the best.